I think it's safe to say that after yesterday, if we had a pick 'em for pickup basketball, Jared's going to be last. He got, I tell you, I saw it flash before my eyes. I was like, oh, holy cow. And he said when he came back, he's like, I had already committed to it. And then when I started going, that's a lot higher than I thought it was. But no, it was good. It's good to see some excitement out there, and happy where the offense is at right now.
So you got to grade the dunk for us.
What's that?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you grade that dunk?
Oh, it's not the best. It's a 4. That's a 4 for sure. But it was good. He got up there. Yeah. So.
Speaking of Jared, though, he seems to be in a pretty good spot, a week into camp. Just how you thought his first week has gone, just how he's picking up this offense, and he looks to be in a pretty good group right now.
Yeah, Tim, I would say that we've tried to make him uncomfortable. It's something we talk about with all the offensive players is get comfortable being uncomfortable. And it's been a challenge to rattle him. We've thrown some new concepts at him that we didn't do in the springtime, and he's handled it really well. I know Coach talked about just the offense as a whole being able to handle pressure, and as the intensity goes up and the heat of the moment of the game goes up, that the heart rate goes down. And I think he kind of is the example for that for the rest of the group, because he has done a really nice job just staying steady, and he is focused. I'm really proud of where he's at after a week and a half.
What do you think you've learned about being a play caller? This preseason, like if this is a dry run at all, Dan sort of explained how it gives you in AG situations, and you talk about concepts, and you're competing against each other, and you have to react to whatever happens. So what do you think you've sort of learned in that?
Yeah, I don't know if so far in the last week and a half if that's come up a ton, just because practice right now is scripted, the majority of it. You see the 2-minute drills; those are more on the fly, and that's kind of what I talked about in the springtime. Those are the ones that are really the best test anyways, because so many things can change so quickly.
Yeah, I guess I'm alluding to those.
Yeah, and it's a work in progress. I think it's I'm happy with where we ended yesterday with the ones, at least, able to take a tough situation like that with only 30 seconds left on the clock and be able to come out with a touchdown. So, we talk about it, we go over it as a unit every single day, just the thought process, the play call, why we're doing this, when we need to do this. And so I think it's not just the play caller, I think it's everybody understanding what we're trying to get done. So.
How much of your offense system have you put in so far?
Hard to put a percentage on it, but I think we have a good foundation, which is really where we want to be here after this is practice 9. So I think we're right on course. We keep track of the mentals, the missed assignments every single day, and naturally as more volume goes in, those tend to climb up. And so we're kind of at a point now where we feel like let's kind of stay the course. Maybe we'll flip some formations, just show the difference, the defense some different looks that way. But hopefully we can get those mentals to drop, and once that happens, we'll continue to push them a little bit. But I think of this time of year it's not only learning our scheme and what we're going to be really good at, but we're also evaluating. We're evaluating the players and what they could potentially do for us and help us out, but we're also evaluating some new schemes too, and some things that maybe we haven't had a ton of experience with. So that's kind of the process we're at right now.
Pass rush has been a lot more, I think, effective. We've seen this training camp. I'm wondering what's the balance for you in terms of learning experience for the blocking schemes, but also maybe not having the time to see how some of your designs are developing on the back end through the route running.
Yeah, I think it's a good question. I think we want to, you're talking about evaluating those offensive linemen. I think we kind of want to put them in those situations where they do have some one-on-one matchups over the course of practice. So that's part of it. There will be tools that we'll have within a game, within a season, that we can use to help them out if they're struggling at all. But right now, we want to see who can handle a 3 technique one-on-one, and those guys are really coming to light as we get more one-on-ones with our O-line versus our D-line. That'll kind of play a course as well, but we just haven't had many one-on-one opportunities with the acclimation period being what it was. So it hasn't been an issue in terms of evaluating the stuff down the field, for me at this point at least.
I was gotten a look at DJ now with pads on, and how he's kind of in there. You talked about the play that he made to end the 2-minute period there. Just what you've seen from him. You talked in the offseason that you really kind of needed that guy on the outside, that X guy to give you some juice. Just what you've seen from him and what he brings to the offense.
No, I think it's exactly what we saw on tape. You know, he's a long guy. He can run really, really well. He says something every day. You know, they didn't ask me to do this in Jacksonville. So, but that's what we want him to feel, because once again, we'll kind of make that determination what he's best at, and then make sure he's doing that for us on game day. But you know, the size and the speed, they show up every single day for us. And he's still knocking the rust off the ankle and all that. And I'm happy with where he's at. He's feeling better every single day, and he's getting more comfortable within the offense every single day.
James Mitchell didn't do much in the spring, and obviously you guys took it slow with him here at the start of camp. How much do you have to sort of force feed him, to get him ready for the season here? The next 2 weeks, just to...
James is a little bit different though than most rookies. I think he kind of separates himself a little bit from those guys just in terms of his mental capacity. He has been very impressive in the meeting room and in walkthroughs so far, the stuff that he has been able to do. So from that aspect, I'm really encouraged. It's now how many more reps can we get him within practice, the full speed, to get the play speed up, to get the thinking up. But yesterday was a good step. I think he had 17 reps yesterday. So we'll keep up in that and keep seeing where that goes.
When you say he's really good, mentally, can you give us an example, just something that he, sitting in meetings, takes a lot of notes? What does he do?
Yeah, and I really talked to Coach Tanner more about this than anything, because he's quiet in the unit meetings, like most of those rookies are. But he says anything he tries to stump him on, he nails it, and then it carries over to the walkthrough as well. He knows exactly the adjustments that we're trying to make. Normally we split up at two groups, the ones and the twos, and he's with the twos, and we have some more mentals over there, and he hasn't had many. Yeah.
Maybe this is more symptomatic of us not watching, getting to watch practice late in the season, but just Amon-Ra's route running is so much more precise. The quickness out of breaks, the separation just from training camp last year to this year just seems staggering at times. How has he improved in your eyes from the end of last season through whatever he did through the offseason to get to this point?
Yeah, he's special, man. He really is. He's on a mission right now. And I think, we talked in the spring a little bit about each coach giving each player areas of improvement. He has taken those to heart, and you can really see that translate on the field right now. I talked to him middle of the summer during our off time, just seeing how he's doing. He's like, Coach, I'm telling you right now, this run after catch, I'm all over it. I'm all over it. And I think you see that every single day on the field. At least I do. Ball gets in his hands, and he is consciously thinking, knife up the field and get what I can, break tackles along the way. And the aggression that he has that controlled aggression, which for a receiver is rare. It shows up in the run game, it shows up in his route running, his breaks, and it carries over for the rest of the group. Yeah, most of the time.
Was that run after catch? Was that a big assist point?
Yeah, well, it sure was. Yeah. And he's taking it to heart.